For those who are over the age of 55, do you necessarily need to have an RFC form? And I tell people it still operates within the context of a box. Now, listen when I say this, because I know some of you have been watching me do a lot of videos about doing this for disability benefits for persons over 50. I don't want anyone out there watching this video to get this idea that I'm telling you that the moment you cross 50, you've crossed this magical finish line, or that you've crossed 55 and you're this magical finish line. As I've indicated before, the standards tend to be a little bit more lax when you get a little older. But the reality is this. It's not about the RFC form. Because I've seen people, they say, well, they talk about how important. I've seen countless videos. There's probably thousands of videos from other representatives talking about if you can get a form, that's great. And add me to the list. If you can get a form, that's great. But the emphasis is not on the form. The emphasis is on the weight of the evidence. I got news for you. I've represented people who are 60 years old applying for disability benefits with very thin medical evidence and gotten denied. So I don't want you to think that because they are over the age of 50 or 55, they've reached this magical plateau. That's not true. And so don't look at, and the question that was really asked is, what is your track record for winning cases or for persons over the age of 55 without an RFC? And I know I've said this in other videos when I tell people, you're framing the question wrong. It's not what you want to ask. The question is not whether or not 55 and RFC, great. 55 without an RFC, oh, not so great. No. Because all that means nothing if the weight of the evidence, and I keep saying weight, let me just back up a second and explain what I mean by that. If your medical records don't support your situation, it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't even matter if you got a great form. If looking at all of the evidence that we got there, if all the evidence collectively does not support that you cannot work, it doesn't matter how old you are. You don't get an extra skate pass or a magical. It doesn't, you don't get an extra Super Bowl ring because you're over the age of 55 and you happen to have a form. The key is this. Does your medical evidence support your limitations? Because you're going to tell Social Security how limited you are. They're going to go to your medical records to see if that's true. That's the most important inquiry, not about the age and the RFC.